Being a kid of that golden era of late night animes, not quite understanding the difference between the two, my personal bias is that some of the greatest shows come from that time period. Standing from a more objective point of view, I recognize that most of them weren't really that good. While many of these series don't stand up to the test of time when viewed from the side, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is different. Even though parts of it have aged, the dub, I believe, is timeless. Even though the general sentiment is typically that the Japanese sub beats out the English dub, the English Yu-Gi-Oh! Cast can make the case as not only beating out its still good original voice actors, but simply being the greatest English cast of all time. As a lead character, your job is to entice viewers to hook onto you and want to see your journey, and when your main character is effectively two characters in one, that responsibility becomes twice as heavy. And boy, when you first hear young Yugi, is that a hard sell.
You did fine, Joey. I just have better cards.
A little whiny, a little woe is me. His voice makes sense to the context of his character, but not as much as a lead. But when you consider how that plays in contrast to his alter ego, the surprise and impact of the Pharaoh's voice comes pleasantly. Is there a more main character voice than the Pharaoh? Tough, enigmatic, yet reassuring, the Pharaoh's auditory presence commands the room, from narrating actions that are objectively mundane in execution, to vocalizing the character's fury.
I draw again! Another monster! Yeah! Go, Breaker! Attack him directly!
Dan Green's performance is a statement piece to the character, and when you realize that he's the face behind both personas, it's even more of an incredible feat. Additionally, as the story progresses, even the Yugi persona grows more confident.
And since the magic card you just played is the same one that I placed in my gold sarcophagus, the effect of your card is negated, which means your Egyptian god goes back to the graveyard. So this duel is still on.
And we can hear that reflected in his voice, which is its own kind of joy. To complement someone of Yugi's caliber, we had to find an appropriate dance partner, and Eric Stewart delivers with his Kaiba. Arrogant, powerful, and imposing, Kaiba brings a level of severity to his over-the-top personality. As the resident eccentric billionaire, Kaiba is kind of screwed up in the head, but in such a way that you just have to keep watching and listening. While it's hard to tell if he loves the Blue Eyes White Dragon more or the Pharaoh more, the tone at which he refers to both is so impassionate that you feel lulled into him. Whether it's one of the times where he systematically breaks down why he's a superior human being to his opponent, or he categorically explains some overly complicated down to take down an enemy,
so take what little dignity you have left and get lost!
It's no surprise that other animes want him to introduce each episode. While Yugi, the Pharaoh, and Kaiba are awesome characters, perhaps you wanted someone more relatable. Joey may be your cup of tea. With his generalized Brooklyn accent, the voice actor was able to seamlessly switch between comedy and badassery as if flipping a switch. Playing the role as the series' most personable duelist, making mistakes from time to time, questionable decisions at other times, and relying a little bit on luck here and there, seeing Joey succeed in growing from a bumbling to a legitimate duelist brings a tear to my eyes.
The only way I can get through to you is by dueling you.
If you say so.
Duelist Kingdom was an awesome introduction to the card game era of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Maximilian Pegasus is such a fantastic antagonist. Classy and elegant, but also hiding darkness behind his playful words, and Darren Dustin's Yugi Boy is one of the most ingrained auditory memories for me.
My turn, Yugi Boy. I knew you would, Yugi Boy. Yugi Boy, Yugi Boy. Whatever you say, Yugi Boy. Yugi Boy, Yugi Boy. Yugi Boy. Your turn, Yugi Boy. Prepare yourself, Yugi Boy. No thanks, Yugi Boy. Yugi Boy, Yugi Boy.
As an ensemble with his character design, the voice is just so fitting, inviting, and charming, yet you know that his sweet words build a trap to ensnare the weak-willed. Whether it be when he stares deep into your soul, or sets up the table for a delightful Sunday afternoon, Maximilian Pegasus' voice entices you to watch on, and how could you not? Just to show that they have more than one voice actor capable of playing a two-sided character, Merrick both has his base Ishtar persona and his darker Yami side, while base Yugi sounded childish until growing more confident. Base Merrick felt calculating and motivated.
As for who I am, let's just say that I'm the one who shall control your destiny as I have controlled others, and that I am not unfamiliar with the power of a Millennium item.
Yet when the switch flipped to Yami, the voice effects gets thrown in at a perfection, making the character seem unhinged and chaotic.
I'm finally free again, which means I can do things my way. I was restrained for many years by that fool, Odia.
The way Yami Merrick undoes the composure that base Merrick exudes makes him such a unique over-the-top villain. I can't even begin how blessed the series was with its talented cast. Bakura is yet another great example of a fantastic two-sided character. Base Bakura had an innocent charm to him.
Well then don't let me detain you. Keep looking and I'll get some help.
Right.
With his ever-so-friendly mannerisms lowering his guard, while Yami Bakura always had that perfect line to whisper into your ear while sinking his knife into you.
Why are you telling me this?
If I give you a glimmer of hope, you'll be that much more devastated when it comes crumbling down.
As the original series' final villain, Bakura leaves us with a fantastic performance, the likes of which put him up as one of the greats within the show. While the highlights for me in the series are definitely Bakura, Merrick, and Pegasus, the other villains also do a fantastic job of conveying their character profiles. Weevil's voice complimented the snotty piece of shit he is.
Nice try, but it looks like your turn just came to an end. Which means Poison Butterfly takes the rest of your life points! Yes, I win!
Rex's gruffness lets him show his anger-motivated attitude.
I still have a score to settle with you, Wheeler. Remember? You took my red-eyes black dragon.
Noah exuded the overly privileged, psychologically unhinged child persona.
Right on schedule, Seto. Please watch your step while exiting. I wouldn't want you to burn to smithereens before our duel.
Bandit Keith made for a perfect example of human filth.
Hey, chill out. The pummeling will commence as soon as I'm good and ready, so don't get your briefs in a bunch. You got that, Blondie?
The later seasons also have their own share of interesting voices. Siegfried has the most perfectly ridiculous voice to match his strange upbringing.
My dear friend Herr Kaiba is throwing another tournament, is he? How charming.
Darts' lines match perfectly those of an ancient cult leader.
The rock fragments in your hands. If they deem you worthy of their power, you'll be able to grasp them.
And his henchmen are also worth highlighting. Alistair was probably the weakest of the trio, yet was still able to present a man on a mission.
It's pointless to argue about it now. So what do you say you and I have a rematch? I have a score to settle, remember?
Valen and his generalized Cockney accent made him a perfect contrast to Joey's Brooklyn one.
Forget about Joey Wheeler. But now I understand why he meant so much to you. The guy's got heart.
And Raphael's stern and imposing voice made the Pharaoh's only true loss all the more impactful.
And with that, I end my turn.
I know he wants to use the seal of Orichalcos. I can see it in his eyes.
Time to lose.
As a non-native Japanese speaker, I have a hard time quantifying how good the Japanese voice cast is, and while it sounds good to my ears in the times I've listened to it, compound that with the fact that I do know the general sentiment is that it is a high quality Japanese dub, I think the English one is in a class of its own, with strong main characters and engaging villains. The series is the perfect example of not knowing how good you had it until it's gone. It's hard to explain how much I absolutely love the English voice cast of the original era of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I hope you did too. Thank you dummies for yet another video. We hope you guys are enjoying this month. We have one last video for Yu-Gi-Oh! Then we'll see where the winds take us. Like, comment, subscribe, or anything in between really. See y'all next time, dummies.
Time to